Hi, Coach. Good to see you.
Good to see you again.
Welcome to HSBN Media Days. Coach, introduce yourself and the players that you have here today with you.
Hi, I'm Casey Beck, head coach of John I. Leonard. With me I have senior Sean Lopez, senior Janelle Garcia, sophomore Nayland Crespo, and senior Dockin Jurgen.
Excellent. Coach, you're in your fourth year, and last season was the team's first winning season, and it's also the highest win total in 12 years of the program. Talk to us about that. That's a great accomplishment.
Yeah, I appreciate that. As soon as I got there, I wanted to get the ball rolling, and the kids bought in and they got it rolling. And I heard some whispers about schedules and this and that, but again, like you just said, all these kids are teenagers. There's not really a huge difference between each other. So the teams we played had good players, and I think our record showed a lot of the hard work and dedication and belief. They bought in that they can win. And John I has a long history of being traditionally good in baseball. So I try to remind them that all the time, and I think that really helped us guide through the season last year.
And how are you going to, that's great, but how are you going to keep that momentum going?
Well, the momentum, unfortunately, and I mentioned this last year with a couple of guys I had, a lot of times the kids that go off, they play in the summer or fall, wherever, they tend to, I lose them, I'll just be straight up. And we lost our corners, our starting first baseman who was a freshman, and starting third baseman for the most part as a sophomore. One went to Forest Hill, one went to Dwyer. But it is what it is, we got kids that can step right back in and replace them, so it's not a worry to me. It's not really a rebuilding. We've had kids that have stuck out the program for 4 years, and the proof is in the pudding. And I still think we're going to surprise some of the teams we play this year. We're in a very tough conference, which is a whole other story to begin to talk about. But we're going to line up and give teams hell every time we show up, play the right way, and continue to do with teams that I've always had in my past.
Excellent. And you're returning 9 with 5 seniors. And this roster looks like it returns strongest in key places on the mound and up the middle.
Absolutely.
Is that a fair assessment? Tell
Absolutely.
us about that.
And they're all interchangeable. So Sean one night might be starting on the mound, filling it up. The next night he might be behind the plate. He might be in center field. The kid is one of the best players in the county. It's been a tough road, but he has lived the life, man. And I'm so proud of this guy right here and the season he's going to have, and for coming back to John I. Got Janelle, 4-year varsity player. He can play shortstop, second base. He pitches. He can left-handed bat. Slaps the ball around. Dawkins brand new. Kid's been a wrestler, grunt, hardcore worker, knows what it's like to have hard work. He's filling in behind the plate this year and doing a fantastic job. And of course, I talk about little Nayland here. Nayland was a gift last year if you look at his stats. Taught him a little curveball, and it's not always about the velo, it's about getting outs. And he found that out real fast when he's through 4 innings and has only thrown 38 pitches. And that's the kind of stuff we're looking at, along with the rest of our staff. Pretty much everybody is decent on the mound and not worried about having arms. Mm-hmm. So that's good going into the season.
Well, from the players' perspective, for you seniors, and we have one sophomore here, tell us about your team this year. What's the feel?
Pretty good. We're looking like we got a lot more room for improvement. There's always room for improvement when you're doing something you love and you're dedicated to. So, we just try to get better every single day. Go out there, give it our all, no matter what. Always for this guy right here, and he's always doing everything for us. So we got to give it back to him.
Right. And how are you guys inspiring the younger players on your team?
I treat him like a family, and I keep him in baseball, and help them out in school, grades, everything, and just keep him like a family. And outside, in lunch, we just keep like a family. We keep together, and just keep like a family. That's all that we do, family.
Excellent.
Yeah, you talk about togetherness and grades and things like that. High school baseball is a major commitment. It's a long, grueling schedule. It's a grind. What's it like being a Lancer baseball player? You're representing John I. Leonard High School as a student athlete. You have certain disciplinary behaviors that you need to attend, team rules, things like that. What's it like to be a Lancer baseball player? pride involved?
I mean, it feels good. I know I'm sophomore, but being here the last 2 years, it's all these kids. They're friendly. They're good at baseball, and yeah.
A lot of eyes on us too, especially when we're walking around school. You gotta hold a certain image so that people know that we're about business. We're not just joking around.
Always being a student athlete, you have to represent your grades first, then your athleticness after. And coming with that, being a family, we could always come and help each other out, ask each other questions. Being on the field, we're a whole family together, we work together, and anyone needs help, we're there to help out. Any improvements needed, always there.
And there are times throughout the year that teams face adversity and setbacks on the field or off the field. How do you keep your teammates positive and motivated after a loss or after a bad inning on the field or something? How do you keep your teammates and everybody together?
Just gotta stay focused. Can't worry about past mistakes. What already happened. Can't change it. So you just gotta go out there and try and know what you did wrong, do what you can to fix it, and just try and be better for the next time.
And they hear a lot, I'll tell them to flush it. Flush it, start with a clean bowl. Get that brain clean and start with a clean bowl, forget it and move on. You're teenagers, you're gonna make mistakes, but learn from it and move on.
There's always the next play to happen. There's always the next play that has to be done. Can't do it.
And Coach Beck, taking into consideration your coaching style, the makeup of this year's team, are they a power team? Are they base running? Are they defensive strength pitching? What's going to be your philosophy on the field and strengths?
Well, I've taken pride since, even back in my Olympic height days, like we're going to run the bases. That's one thing that I stress. And if you look back at our stats, we've been league leaders, if not the leader, every year in stolen bases. So we'll slap the ball around. We're going to play small ball. We don't have a bunch of bruisers, which is fine. I think we're athletic enough to hit and run, put bunts down, steal bags, and with our pitchers, keep us in games that probably we shouldn't be in. We just have to maintain 7 innings. We got in trouble a lot of times where we'll get to the 4th or the 5th, and we had guys that their pitch count was just out of control. And instead of trying to strike everybody out, you need to learn how to pitch and get kids out. And I think we got kids this year that have that mentality, and it's gonna help us in the long run, especially in the playoffs.
And who are you facing this year? Who is some of your?
Yeah.
How's your schedule?
FHSAA put us in a district with Jupiter, Palm Beach Central, and Wellington. It is what it is. Talk about the haves and the have-nots, and people think I whine and complain, but it is what it is. So, sometimes I feel like we go to a gunfight with a knife, and that's okay. We're going to do the best we can. We're not going to back down. We're not going to get blown out 30-0. We have enough pride where we will fight to the end, and we'll compete. Anyone can win at any given night.
And what are your specific goals for the season, Coach?
Specific goals, honestly, for them to come together and have a great year, because every year I'm going to lose a kid here, there, to wherever. So I take it year by year now instead of looking for big future, which is hard to do. I want them to have a year they can remember when they're 25, 30. Coach Beck was a good guy we love playing for. Coach Joe, we had a great time at lunch. We went out and beat some teams we probably shouldn't have beat. Memories they'll remember for the rest of their life is what I hope they honestly get out of this. Even if we go 0-20, which we won't, but learn something about baseball and learn something about being a man.
Mm-hmm. So making memories and learning
Growing
about
up.
life. Yep.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. And being together both on the field and off the field and just learning
Lifelong. That's why we say family. I mean that. I had a player of mine just text me the other day, who's a doctor now back in Brazil that I had, and it gives me goosebumps to hear Nick Ham, who was a stud for me a couple years ago, is now back coaching for me, and it gives me the tingles to have them doing the great things they're doing, whether it's baseball or not. And that's what we're supposed to be doing in high school, is getting these kids set up for success as adults.
Right. And you're inspiring them and they're inspiring you as well.
Absolutely. That's what they keep me waking up every morning.
That's awesome. Well, Coach, we wish you the best of luck this season. Thank you for coming out to Media Days, and thank you to you all, and we'll see you on the field soon.
Thanks for having us.
Thank